As you can see, this setup is fast and simple. With this lovely weather approaching this summer, FSS wants to bring you the best barbecue at your house. And the greatest part about all this setup is that you can rent this from your FSS facilities. For instance, I rented the table and the chairs from Outdoor Rec, and they're willing to rent you pretty much anything. They have grills, tents, camping equipment, but in this case, this is the perfect party rentals. And they even have a delivery service to help you bring it right to your door. And then we have the linens and the plates, the napkins, and even the silverware. And we rented that just as Air Force Club members. Another perk to being a club member is you can get it from any of your local clubs. So that would be the Rocker Club, the Banyan Tree Club, or of course, the Officers Club. And this really makes the party special. I mean, you can rent glasses, wine glasses, anything you want. And of course, we need a few finishing details for our meal. So I went ahead and put down some clear marbles that you can get from Arts and Crafts, some flowers, and even some votives for candles that you can also get from Arts and Crafts. So here we are, our wonderful barbecue, and next I'm going to show you how to make a seaside ristorante special, a grilled salmon with 2 different types of sauce. Stay tuned with us and we'll be right back. Welcome to this edition of The Bite, where we're going to have a tasty and healthy barbecue treat. This isn't your ordinary chicken or steak. This is going to be a seaside ristorante special. They're grilled salmon with 2 different kinds of sauce, a rosemary butter sauce and a tomato basil sauce with a lovely vinaigrette. Now this is really easy and simple and so quick. So let's go ahead and get started on our salmon. We have 2 lovely salmon fillets right here, and I'm just going to put a little salt and pepper on each one. Ooh, a little windy out here, but it's part of the Okinawa deal, right? There we go. So there's some pepper, and then we want a little salt to season. And I'm also going to add just a tad of vinegar onto the salmon. Now, of course, we don't want our salmon to stick to our grill, so we're going to go ahead and put a little olive oil on the salmon. Nice and healthy too. Right? Mediterranean diet. So now that we have our preheated grill, we're going to go ahead and just plop our salmon right on the grill. All right. That looks great. Okay. Now remember, salmon is fish, so it's not going to take very long to cook. So while this is cooking, we're just going to take a few minutes to make our 2 different kinds of sauces. So let's start with our rosemary cream and butter sauce. There's nothing like cream and butter, right? Now this isn't the healthiest sauce, but it sure is tasty. So we're going to go ahead and add a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, and then of course a couple tablespoons of butter, and I'm just going to use a whisk to get this out. This is softened butter. You could also use melted. It will melt, of course, once it goes onto the fish. And then, of course, minced garlic, the vital part of cooking. Garlic adds so much flavor, and we want a little herbs to this, so we're going to put in just a little dried rosemary. So whisk, whisk, whisk away, and there we have our garlic, rosemary, buttery cream sauce. Now let's go ahead and move on to our tomato basil vinaigrette. So for our tomato basil vinaigrette, we're going to start with balsamic vinegar. So let's add a couple tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. All right. And I'm going to add just some diced tomatoes. These are finely diced because we want you to get a bite of tomatoes in every bite of salmon. And some fresh basil, straight from my garden today. You can also buy at the commissary, and then a little lemon juice. This will just give it a nice mild flavor. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of whisk that together. I'm going to add a little olive oil to bind it together. There we go. So this is basically like a bruschetta for your salmon. How tasty does that sound? All right, so let's check on our salmon in our grill. All right, it's cooking. I'm just gonna go ahead and turn it over. It's only gonna be grilled for about 5 minutes. So this is such a quick dinner. And you know, I've noticed at barbecues, you're always waiting by the grill and, you know, the chicken, is it done? Is it ready? You know, is it gonna make my friends sick? Well, the great part about salmon is that it's so quick. So you can just throw it on the grill and before you know it, you have a nice healthy dinner for your family and friends for your dinner party. All right, this salmon is looking superb. Now, the best way to test salmon is to basically see if it flakes with a fork. Now, also, you always want to remember, don't overcook your salmon. There's nothing worse than overcooked fish. And keep in mind, sushi's not cooked. Now, this is not sushi grade salmon, but still, we want to keep it just to the perfect tenderness. So I'm just going to test it right here. All right, that is definitely flaking. Okay, so I'm gonna put my fork down and I'm just gonna take both fillets of salmon right here. This is almost falling apart, so tender. Okay, now I'm gonna take our 2 different sauces. So I'm basically going to do a duo of salmon. I'm gonna go ahead and spoon some of our garlic cream sauce on one piece. Ooh. Can't beat garlic and cream, that's for sure. Now a little of our healthy tomato balsamic bruschetta mixture for salmon. Oh yeah. And there we go. Now I can't wait to get a bite of this. So I'm gonna head on over to my perfect barbecue table that FSS provided for me, right? All right, now that we have our tasty salmon and our beautiful table, I can't wait to have all my friends and family over for this great meal. And the best part is I didn't have to buy any of this stuff. I rented it with my Air Force Club Card membership for just a tiny little fee. In fact, it just provided the cleaning for the O Club. So I have this beautiful setup for almost nothing. It really is a deal, so. And I can't wait to bite into this salmon. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope to see you next time on The Bite.